I can't quite contain or explain my evil ways.
What is up, everybody? Enderheart here with another Gravity Falls fanfiction reading, and today in this episode we will be doing another Cipher Secrets by Awaken Nirwana, and today we will be moving on to Chapter 4, Episode 4. I found out that there is titles and stuff today, beginning of the sentences, and episode 4 is meetings and announcements. So let's get started. Whoosh! Dipper stopped in his tracks and looked up. It sounded like an animal flying above him. All he had seen was a shadow passing above him. It couldn't be the pterodactyl. The shadow seemed smaller, but it was at least 3 times bigger than him. Dipper looked around, analyzing the forest. He grabbed Book 3 from his vest pocket and attempted to search for any flying paranormal creature, only to be interrupted by another sound equal to the previous one. Whoosh! However, this one sounded nearer. Dipper leaned against a tree as if... Sorry, guys. As if trying to hide himself from the creature, even though he knew it wouldn't be very effective. Come on. He murmured impatiently as he tried to search an answer on the book in his hands. No creature in this book, except for the griffin, seemed to fly. This is the 3rd time. Oh wait, no, we already mentioned the griffin in this one. Sorry. Still, the griffin seemed to fly. Some floated, but the creature had wings. Griffins float? Huh. Some floated, but the creature had wings. He had seen it. It surely wasn't a griffin, because they are way smaller than the shadow he had seen. Large wings, crimson red eyes, sharp teeth, and long, pointy tail. Dipper mentally listened and physically listened every physical character. Sorry, guys, I'm really messing up today. Dipper mentally listened every physical characteristic of the creature. Dipper closed the book and then sighed. He was doomed for sure. Whoosh! Dipper barely had time to try and discover where the sound had come from when the tree he was leaning against was completely destroyed. He fell forward, hitting his head on the ground hard. Dipper suppressed a scream of pain and turned around, still lying on the ground. The creature could still be totally... Oh my god, I'm so sorry, you guys. I keep messing up horribly. The creature could still be seen totally covered in shadows, but at least 10 meters bigger than the pine trees covering the area of the forest. Wow, he muttered, impressed and scared at the same time. He tried to run, but couldn't stand up. He could barely move. All of his muscles stiffened as the creature approached him. Dipper's heart hammered in his chest. He closed his eyes, ready to feel pain. He shut his eyes stronger as he heard the creature's roar echoing through the forest, making the birds on nearby pine trees fly away, startled. However, Dipper couldn't suppress his curiosity anymore. He opened his eyes quickly and realized the creature was gone. Even so, its roar echoed through the forest of the large pine trees. What was that? Dipper asked himself, still not believing what happened. Standing up slowly, he looked around, making sure the creature wasn't around, and kept walking. While walking, he couldn't stop thinking about the creature. What should he call it? Surely Dipper couldn't call it a shadow forever, because it definitely wasn't a shadow. Or was it? Dipper narrowed his eyes, as if trying to make his brain work harder to crack the code. Before giving it a name, if it doesn't already have one, I have to discover what the creature is. If it already has a species, then I'll have to find out more things about it. I already have some information. All I have to do is write it down. Dipper stopped suddenly. He had noticed a few weeks ago that at the end of the book there were blank pages. He smiled. And that should just about do. Dipper lied on his bed, sighing. He was beat, didn't know how long he had been writing down all these things he knew about the mysterious creature. He looked up at the clock on his bedside. It was still 9:12 p.m. he had about 18 minutes to attempt to fall asleep. That wouldn't be easy since he was still shaken up due to the unexpected meeting with the mysterious monster in the forest. He had written down every characteristic he had seen about the creature, and he had also made small drawings about its form. After all, it was considered a shadow. He glanced at the clock again. It was now 9:14. He sighed in boredom. Closing his eyes, he attempted to fall asleep. That was a failed attempt, as all his mind could picture was the creature's piercing crimson eyes staring down at him. And now he felt like he could still hear its roar echoing through the forest. Dipper inhaled deeply. He was still feeling agitated. Why can't I sleep? For the love of... He was going to curse, but was interrupted. Hey, Pine Tree, how you doing? The meeting will be in a few minutes. Are you ready yet? It was definitely Bill. Dipper groaned and buried his face in its pillow. His life was just shit right now. No, I feel shaken up because some weird creature almost ate me alive, and now I can't get any sleep, he explained. Then he realized that all he needed to do was think of an answer, and Bill would hear it. He mentally facepalmed, and then he physically facepalmed because Bill had just seen his mental facepalm. Damn. He cursed slowly. I think I can help ya, kid, Bill said. Dipper raised an eyebrow before a floating cloth with a strange smell was pressed against his mouth. Chloroform. He struggled and wiggled for air for a few seconds, but it didn't work. After half a minute, everything went black. Dipper closed his eyes in a heartbeat. His breath was faster than normal. See? Better. See? Better! He looked up and saw the floating triangle staring down at him. Dipper narrowed his eyes. You drugged me? He barked. That's just wrong and illegal, Dipper thought. Suddenly something happened. His thought echoed through the darkness. Then he remembered. That was the dreamscape. Bill was able to hear his thoughts, but that was messed up. But it worked. You can thank me later. If Bill had a mouth, he'd be grinning right now. Thank you? Dipper said, irritated. No problem, kiddo. No problem, kiddo. Now let's go find the others. Oh, that was a really good Bill voice. Dipper groaned in frustration, but decided to drop the subject. For now. He also wasn't going to talk about the creature he had seen in the forest. He wanted to discover what it was by himself. That would be a fun experience. And it would be funner if he managed to tame the creature. Maybe having a pet monster wouldn't be so bad after all, but he'd have to hide it from his Crinkle Stan. Oh my god. That was one of my original plans. Anyway, he would try to use it as an attraction. Dipper was brought back to reality when he felt a tickling sensation. The world around him starting to change. Now they were in a forest, but it was gray. All the colors drained from the trees, ground, and sky. It was definitely still the dreamscape, just creepier. Why are we here? Dipper asked suddenly. He was so distracted at the gray forest that he almost forgotten where they were to meet the other apprentices. This is a multiscape, kid, Bill explained. A multiscape is like a dreamscape, but a shared one. So you can find and talk to other apprentices and their mentors and stuff. The triangle looked around until he spotted a pink square somewhere not very far away. Oh, there he is. I'm not surprised that he came earlier. Come, Pine Tree, Bill said, approached the floating square. Then Dipper noticed that next to him was I lost my place. Dipper noticed that next to him was a black-haired boy standing and looking around. Hey, Keen. Oh, you're late, Bill, Kinessi said, turning to meet the other dream demon. He looked down at Dipper. Ah, so that's your apprentice. Dipper Dominic Pines, huh? You sound like a normal kid like everyone else. Dipper raised an eyebrow. He shouldn't be surprised that another dream demon knew his name, because dream demons can read minds. He still hated his name, however. Just 1 minute. Stop being such a smartass, Bill rolled his eyes. Ignoring his mentors arguing With Phil, the black-haired boy turned to Dipper. "Hi, I'm Azaf," he said, smiling. Dipper turned to him.